Hey folks, Dr. Turpo here, the Black Love Doctor. Have you ever gone to bed angry at your partner, only to wake up feeling even worse? Let's talk about some ancient wisdom on how to handle this situation and why this advice is still relevant today. The ancient biblical proverb says, "Do not let the sun go down on your anger." While simple, this advice is a powerful tool for maintaining healthy relationships. So in this video, I'll unpack why this principle works, the challenges of applying it, and my personal rule of thumb for making it practical in your daily life. So, let's take a look at an everyday situation. Usually you have one person that wants to talk about an issue and the other person doesn't want to talk about the issue. Now, both people have valid concerns. The one that wants to talk about the issue has a valid concern because, like the ancient biblical proverb says, do not let the sun go down on your anger, because what happens is that anger will sit overnight and it'll start growing roots of resentment, and then it's harder to deal with. But if you get to it sooner, you'll be able to pull it out before it grows those roots, and you'll deal with it, and you end up booed up on each other. So that would be great. The only problem is that the other person has a valid concern too. And that concern is, just because you're ready to talk about this doesn't mean I'm ready to talk about this. And if we force this conversation, more than likely it is not going to be a good one. So we have a dilemma here. So what do? Well, here's my practical rule of thumb for applying this proverb, okay, in real life. Now, I just want you to keep in mind, aim for progress, not perfection. So there's basically 3 steps. Number 1, you want to acknowledge the conflict. Number 2, set a specific plan. And then number 3, offer reassurance. So what would that look like? It could look like something like, hey, baby, there's something that's bothering me. I need to talk to you about it. I'm really upset. And the other person will be like, oh, gosh, I'm really not feeling this right now. I'm too upset. I'm tired or angry. I just had a long day. But I recognize that you want to talk about that. Okay? I recognize you want to talk about it. And it's important that we talk about it because you want to talk about it. But how about this? How about we schedule a time, let's say 9 o'clock tonight. And then I'll get myself in a place where we can have a productive conversation. Okay? Now, 9 o'clock comes. Say, you know what, baby? I said I'd be ready to talk about it. Let's go ahead and talk about it. Or 9 o'clock comes and the person says, look, I thought I'd still be ready to talk about it. I thought I would be ready to talk about it, but I'm not in a good place. I'm still upset. I'm too angry. I'm too tired. But I do value and recognize that we need to talk about it because it's important to you. So let's do that. Okay? I love you. All right? Now, cut. What did you notice about this? A couple of things you noticed about this little scenario. We acknowledge the conflict. Hey, I understand that you want to talk about it. We are going to definitely talk about it. Then you set a specific time, a specific plan. You said, let's talk about it at a specific time, 9 o'clock. Didn't say later. Because if you say later, the other person will be like, 10 minutes later, they'll be like, hey, you want to talk about it now? And the other person will be like, damn it, didn't I say I didn't want to talk about it? So don't put people off and say later. Set a specific time that you're going to talk about it. It'll calm the other person down. When you set a time, it helps to calm the other person down, okay? So just give them a specific time and plan on when you're going to do it. Now, my rule of thumb is don't go past 24 hours, but the sooner the better, okay? Now, why is that before sundown? Let's say you had the argument or you got upset like 9 o'clock at night. It's time to go to bed. So I recognize it. We're going to talk about it, but I'm too upset right now. So give it a 24-hour period. Okay? The sooner the better. So keep that in mind, but don't go past 24 hours. Okay? So by applying this method keeps a focus on connection while giving both partners the time to process their emotions productively. So that's the benefit of doing this rule of thumb, this behavior that I'm asking you to adopt. hopefully the two of you can come to agreement and say, the next time we find ourselves in this situation, we'll try it this way. Okay? So, just to recap the main points. We talked about the wisdom behind not letting the sun go down on your anger, why it's a good policy, and how to apply it realistically. So try this approach in your own relationships. Commit to addressing the conflict, and you want to address it sooner than later. Okay, and just try it and see how it transforms your connection. So if you found this video helpful, give it a thumbs up and subscribe for more relationship tips. Comment below on how you handle conflict in your relationships. Harmonious wishes.